Buenas. This is the You Live Where show, and my name is Diego. I've been an expat for 10 years now. I believe that I can provide value to you at home by having genuine conversations with people who are expats, people who own homes overseas, or people who have been on the road for a really long time. So this week I have a special guest. He's a TikTok influencer in Mexico, originally from Texas. His name is Julian. It's a great interview. He unpacks a lot of good vibes, man. So enjoy.
Hey, Julian, man, pleasure to meet you.
Nice meeting you too, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. It's such a thing to have you on my podcast. I'm very excited, man. Mexico, that's awesome.
Yes, and this is my first time just being on any podcast for that matter. So when you presented the idea, I got excited about it. I actually told my wife and even showed her the questions yesterday, and we were going through it, and that was actually a fun moment with me and my wife joking around because we just going through the questions and going through the motions. It was pretty fun.
Dude, that's incredible to me, man, because you are a really personable guy. I watch your TikTok, dude. You're out there, so it's funny that nobody's reached out to you yet. That's cool. I'm the first. That's great. I feel
Yeah,
privileged, man. Thank you.
no problem, man. It's an honor, honestly. I'm excited about it.
Cool, cool, man. All right, so let's start. Let's start at the beginning, man. When did you first start getting the travel bug? Is it when you were young? When did you get the idea of maybe living somewhere? How did that work?
Man, I would. It's been about within the past 10 years. Previous marriage actually kind of started there. Just wanting to get around and travel and see the world and just get out of the U.S. Did a lot of traveling in the U.S. Namely in Texas. That's where I'm from. And the first time I got a taste of Mexico really was on a cruise, and one of the stops was Cozumel. And I was just struggling with this idea, like, man, I want to go to Mexico because I enjoyed Cozumel so much. The other option was Cayman in Jamaica. Uh, and I was leaning toward Jamaica, but it was just something about Mexico that made me want to go. And I was like, spent a whole week here. And that really opened my eyes. Like, man, all this negativity about this country. I'm like, this is a beautiful country. Naturally, it's a tourist destination area, but it really started opening my eyes and getting me very curious about the country. And the last thing is my ex-wife is from the Valley. I don't know if you heard of San Benito, Texas, is skipping a hop away from the border. And being down there really got me open to the culture. And my first border crossing was in Nuevo Progreso. So it really started there and just blew up into what it is now.
Wow, man. All right. So Cozumel, that'll suck you in, bro. That place is beautiful.
Oh yeah. I went to from there was it ended up being the next visit ended up being Playa del Carmen. So we went to Cancun, Playa del Carmen. We went back to Cozumel, traveled the whole island. Like, dude, that whole week was phenomenal. It was a wonderful experience.
That's awesome, man. All right. So then when did you start getting the idea behind maybe building a life there? How did that conversation begin?
That happened with my wife.
Okay.
Like it, I was fascinated with Mexico. I before I even met my wife, I had thought about coming to Cancun just on my own, like just to get away. And just so happened before that happened, I met her, and really it was her. It just getting to know my wife and eventually meeting her in her country and coming back and visiting often. Like the more I visited, the more I'm like, I can stay here. I can live here. So
Okay.
yeah, it really started with my wife.
All right, man. And let me ask you, what are the biggest differences between going and like visiting and having that whole thing there and then moving there? What impressions did you have that changed for you?
Um, Really just I don't know. I don't know what really changed. What when I came here after I made the official move, I already felt at home. So
Awesome.
like my visits really just made me feel. I always go back to this story. Let me start here. I came here one time on a visit on my birthday, and I was already fascinated. I already made several visits, and my wife wanted to throw me a big birthday party. And in the United States, man, it just seems like the older you get, your birthdays kind of get thrown to the side. I'm getting older, whatever. I, I don't know how it is, and I always butcher this Nicaragua, but here, bro, every time it's your birthday, it don't matter how old you are,
Oh, it
how
goes
young you
off.
are, it goes off. So my wife
Yeah.
was like, "We're celebrating your birthday," and I'm like, She goes, "No, you're coming here. We're celebrating your birthday." She brought all her friends, who are now my friends now. First time I ever met them, I tell you, man, they treated me like they've known me for years. And I always tell people I got emotional after I got smacked in the face with a cake, traditional. My friend, I mean, they thought I got mad. I was like, no, I just went to go clean myself and I got super emotional. And I realized at that moment that this is where I belong. So visiting here and coming here and just embracing and just engulfing myself in the culture, there really wasn't a huge difference from the times that I visited to when I came here. I already felt like I belonged here. So
Man, that's
it's just
awesome.
now. Right, right. It's just more long term now versus I don't got to go back to the U.S. In fact, I didn't even want to go back half the time. I'm like, man, I don't go back.
I'm the same way. I hear you, man. So when you decided to make the move, how was that? Was that a pain in the ass? Did you pack everything up and ship it? What did you have property at home? Did you box things up? How'd you navigate that, man?
Oh, my wife was the biggest pain in that regard because I could overly consume myself with so much information in terms of moving here, what to do, what not to do, what's the best options. So first and foremost, obviously, I quit my job, sold my home.
Okay.
And I was going to get rid of everything. You know, I had I still have the truck. I'll get into that in a minute, and a bunch of property. I just thought it would be easier. I didn't want to hire a broker. I didn't want to pay anyone to do all this stuff and document everything. I didn't want to do all that. But my wife, because I had stuff that she wanted us to keep. No, no, no. We'll take it. We'll take it. So took my truck, bought a trailer, and three different moves. The last move was the final one. Just brought everything in country, and we just dealt with immigration when we were coming through. And my wife was just a sweet talker. I jokingly say this, disrespecting me in front of them. I say, he's gringo. He just wants to bring his stuff. He can't part with it. And her talking minimized the impact in terms of the taxes that we pay coming in. But my idea was just to get rid of everything. My wife was like, no, 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 keep this, keep this, keep this. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. So yeah, it was a kind of a pain moving the trailer, three different trips, an adventure in itself, and it was well worth it.
Oh, so you did that on a drive? You drove that? Oh, that's right. You're from the Valley. You said it's right there, right?
Right, right, right. So, originally from San Antonio, so it's like a 6 hour drive. I'm sorry, back up. About 2 hours to get to the border. Yeah, about 6 to 7 hour drive. It wasn't that bad,
That's not
but
awful. And for you, it's all an
no,
adventure, right? Driving through Mexico, man, right?
exactly. And the only hiccups that really in regards to moving is just going through, the border, going immigration and being stopped here and there on occasion. But generally speaking, it was pretty flawless. It was an easy in flawless, mostly flawless experience.
All right. So, and where you live now, I'm assuming that was something with your wife. She lived there. That's her town where she
Yes,
grew up.
Saltillo. No, no, no. She's originally from Ciudad de Mexico, Mexico
Oh,
City.
okay, okay, okay.
And she came here previous marriage like almost 30 years ago. So yeah, Saltillo, Coahuila, Mexico, big state borders, Texas. Like I said, about 4 hours in from the border, about an hour away from Monterrey, which is a humongous city, 4.5 million people, big
Oh,
city.
wow.
Yeah, Norte de Mexico is a different experience, man. Like most people that travel here always go to the tourist destinations, but this is a
Sure.
totally different experience. Yeah, it's very nice. If I had a choice, it would be a beach, but being in the mountains is a different experience. It's very nice. Getting older, I started getting accustomed to being an outdoors person, so I fit right in when I got here.
All right, man. And yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Your whole area, you're good. You adapted to everything. Everything's been smooth.
Yes,
The
aside from the
weather.
language, the weather, bro. Let me tell you about the weather. So in Texas, we have two seasons, winter and summer. That's it.
That's it.
Here, yeah, so that's it. Because dude, it could get in the 90s, sometimes if you're lucky, in the hundreds, late in the fall. Like it's hot all the time. And then winter hits, it's just, you get freezing, droughts and stuff like that. But here it's four seasons. And the difference between here and San Antonio is a pretty humid place. Here it's dry, high elevation, about 2,000 meters above sea level. Like you're in the mountains. And man, I tell you, the weather generally speaking is nice. But for me, being from Texas, always wearing shorts, dude, the winter gets blistering, freezing, bone chilling. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that
I
about
was about to
Mexico. They
say
think,
that's crazy here about Mexico, right?
right, a lot of people think the misconception is, oh, you're just tropical jungle, hot, temperate, humid. No, no. There are many places throughout Mexico that get snow. It's freezing, and this is definitely one of those places, man. The wintertime, as much as I love, I say posadas, I think it's called posadas, the Christmas parties and celebrations. As much as I love, that's the best time to be here.
Eh,
Uh, Dude, the winter is blistering cold.
eh. I used to be. I'm from Jersey. I grew up
Oh
traveling.
yeah.
Yeah, I grew up traveling between Jersey. Yeah, I'm done. The cold is cool, man. When like it's hot tubs and we're skiing or whatever, and hot, and it sucks at 6 o'clock in the morning. You're cracking ice off the windshield. Bet you know what I mean?
It,
Man.
it rarely gets that bad here. There's been a few times where there's actually been snow,
Uh,
especially when you start getting the higher elevation into like Arteaga, for example. But dude, just the cold, blistering cold, like bone chilling. Like man, like I don't know how my wife did it. Like I would come here and visit in the wintertime, and I'm just like, I don't know how you do it. I don't even know if I can live here. That's the one time I was questioning, do I really want to be here? It's too damn cold.
So since we're talking about the area, man, can you give me like what's your favorite, like a hidden gem, like a restaurant, a food joint, something that we could tell somebody to check out?
Hidden gems, man. The one thing about Saltillo that is hard to, when you talk about gems, in terms of food, we'll talk about food for a second. There's so many great places to eat here.
I
I
believe
can't
that.
narrow
It's
it down.
Mexico.
Yes, dude. The food is so good here that it made me stop eating Mexican food in Texas. Like I would intentionally wait to come visit. So in terms of hidden gems, man, it's hard to narrow down. Like one place that jumps out is Los Compadres.
There we go.
Very good, nice Mexicano restaurant here. And I wish I remembered the name of this place, but if you love Brazilian steakhouses, there's a couple here, one in particular, and I wish I could remember the name.
Fogo de Chao?
Um,
Fogo de
no, 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 no,
Chao?
no.
No, it's not
Oh,
that.
Fogo de Chao, these places in Estados Unidos. No,
None of that,
it's
huh?
like, and I don't like to compare prices, but you definitely for bang for buck, the place is very good, and it's comparable, and it's a very super popular place. I apologize, I don't know the name of, I can't remember the name off the top of my head. I met some gringos here a couple of days ago that I was trying to tell them, and I couldn't remember still. But in terms of hidden gems, aside from food, one thing that this area is very proud of is their dinosaur fossil findings. So there's the desert Museo de Deserto, which is the desert museum. Very popular place for people who do make their way here because it really talks about the ecological aspects of this area, the dinosaur findings, the local wildlife, just the state and the region. So if anyone does come here, I highly recommend going there. A lot of people from Monterrey that
Awesome.
come down to visit during holiday, they make their way there. Um, and of course, the last thing is the mountains. If you could find a nice tour guide to take you up on some of these trails up in these mountains, there's beautiful scenery. Uh, it's almost night and day because Saltillo kind of sits in a dust bowl in more of like a desert-like dry climate, surrounded by mountains. But once you get in the mountains, I could stand there and lie to you and be like, I'm in Colorado, and you would believe me because you see nothing but forests, pine trees, whatnot. And there's a lot of caverns out there, running water, just beautiful. So
Saltillo.
those are things that I don't think people know about in this area, North Mexico, is if you come here, try to find, if you like to be outdoors hiking, do that. That's probably the biggest thing I would sell people on to come to and visit.
That's awesome, man. And you mentioned it, your cost of living. How you doing down there? Is it better? Is it comparable?
Yes.
Are you
Um, in terms, cost of living definitely is cheaper. That's probably the biggest selling point for some people when they come here is the idea that it's cheaper living. And of course, that varies depending throughout the country. Mexico is a big country, 32 states, I believe. I didn't realize they counted Ciudad de Mexico as a state. I always said there was 31. But anyway, um, depends. You can live in Monterrey and it's super expensive. Saltillo is
there you
reasonable.
go.
Where you see the cost of living where it's cheaper is in terms of just everyday expenses like utilities, maybe cable, water, food, whatnot. But there's a flip side to this, and I don't know if you see that there. Sometimes things generally are more expensive, especially if it's coming from another country with the import taxes and whatnot. So sometimes you tend to pay a little bit more for certain things. But overall speaking, yes, it is cheaper.
Okay. And what about healthcare, man? How's that work for, we're getting older.
Yeah, no. Interesting enough for me, because I'm a veteran, I do still go back, and it gives me a reason to visit family. I still have most of my care taken care of at the VA in the US. However, obviously, getting sick and going back to the US is not plausible. So, again, it's the one thing that I absolutely, this is the biggest thing I like to point out to people when it comes to healthcare. You have direct access to a doctor. If you have a doctor here and you have his phone number, hey, I'm feeling sick. I think maybe I got the flu or I got a cold or something. Can I come see you? Yes, I'm at this hospital. And this is true life. This is exactly how I've been dealing with doctors here. Yes, I'm at this hospital. Come visit me at the ER. I'll check you out, write you a script, and you pay him directly and you're on your way. In the United States,
No.
I don't recall ever having access like that. Time is money for doctors, and they want appointments. They're going to get paid for their time. Here, man, the doctors that I do have, like on my phone, it's direct access. Um, and here, because I am a permanent resident now, I do fall under the universal health care they do have here. However, my wife, because of her job, I do fall under private care, which only covers in-house or inpatient care and stuff like that. But generally speaking, it's just a matter of making a phone call, visiting the doctor, pay for the doctor's service, and if you get a script, you take it to the pharmacia and pay
Okay.
for the script there. It's pretty straightforward, and it is a lot cheaper. I mean, I'm paying for scripts that I would normally pay for the copay of a visit. So if you're trying to compare in terms, yeah, you're paying out of pocket, but I mean, I've paid 150 for an MRI. That's a copay where I don't even pay that to see the doctor, to get a script, get it filled. So that's probably the best way I could compare the two in terms
Direct
of
access.
healthcare.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
direct
cool.
access.
All right. So it came up, man. The language thing. Tough.
Yes. Mexicanos love to bust my balls about it. My friends just and okay, so I take full responsibility for my learning. I'll never put that on nobody. I made that mistake one time jokingly, and they took that shit personal. So when I would visit, immediately Spanish, 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 which is great. That's for my learning. But yeah, I've been here 3 years. It's pathetic. My Spanish still sucks. And I'm a big advocate, man. Learn the language. If you're going to be here, especially permanently, you need to know the language. Not only because it's a fun talking point, but you never know. There might be an emergency. You might need to speak to somebody and try to get information from them. And that's probably the most important reason why you need to learn it. And if you plan on being a citizen, you have to learn it. So, yeah, I
Okay.
still struggle with it to this day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tough. It's tough. And how you said you're a resident, that you have residency there.
Yes, I'm a permanent resident. Yes.
Yeah. How was that? Was that a difficult? I mean, I'm assuming you did it through your wife, but was it still difficult process? Was it easy to get through?
No, no, no. It was a pain in certain aspects. Generally speaking, the process, especially through family, because me
Right.
and my wife are married, it was easy.
Okay.
It was the easiest route you could take. Um, but basically, it was like the requirement was come here under tourist visa. Um, you have to have a passport, no legal issues in your country you're coming from. You apply minimum 2 year temporary residency, and then after that, you can apply for citizenship if you qualify. Language is my biggest reason why I haven't obtained that, and
Yeah.
you qualify for permanent residency after two. If you're doing it any other way, you have to be here at least 4 years for that. But it's just a matter of filling out the application, having all the appropriate documents. So no, it wasn't that difficult of a process.
Oh,
And you
awesome,
pay the
man.
fees that are associated with it as well.
Um, okay. When you told your family you were doing this, everybody cool?
Uh,
How was that conversation?
uh, for the most part, um, the problem that I heard most was there's this negative stigma of Mexico. Like everyone thinks all these bad things about it. So when you tell somebody that you're going to move here, naturally, that's dude. When I first said I was going to go meet my wife in Mexico, the comments that I got were just, I laughed then, but then I was just like, this is just stupid. Like, you're going to get kidnapped, you know, the whole criminal element thing and all that stuff. And so with my family, I didn't get that necessarily, but you could tell there was like this doubt, this apprehension about it. Like, are you sure you want to do this? And look, mind you, I'm only from Abilene, Texas, is where I was born. Only 10 hours away. I lived in San Antonio. That's a 4 hour drive. It's not like I'm going across the world.
Right.
So, like my sons in particular thought because I'm moving to another country, I'm just like never coming back. Like
Gone.
like right. And I'm like, dude, I'm on the other. It's just a border. I'm not that far. Calm down. So, when my family started coming to visit, like my parents in particular, I think that's where the ideas really started to change.
Sure.
They understand why I'm here. They see the country for themselves. And I've always said this before, and I don't know if you've ever told people this. You need to visit other countries. You need to do tourism to really get an understanding and unlearn the stuff that you've been taught about other countries. Once you do that, you'll learn. Ah, man, Mexico is an awesome place. It's very nice. Those two U.S. citizens that I told you I met last week, first time in Norte de Mexico, first time they ever been here. They've been to Cancun, they've been to the tourist, and they were shocked. They were just like, "Wow, man, I didn't expect this." So, yeah, initially my parents were kind of apprehensive about it. They were just like, "Are you sure?" My dad is a proven immigrant. I want to point that out. My dad coming here after said it reminds me of home. So
Peru?
I got two sides of it. My mom, who's a U.S. citizen, was like, and my dad's like, "Hey, this is like home." So
Okay. Peru? Have you been?
not yet.
Oh man, the food.
Dude, trust me, man. My father, I'm first generation descendant. My grandmother moved to the U.S., so trust me, I've gotten the Peruvian food experience. There's a couple places here. Um, I haven't visited one here yet, but I love the food. Peruvian food is
Yeah,
awesome.
dude, there's ceviche.
Yes.
They giant fish pieces. They're incredible.
Oh, yes.
So I know you have family. I know you're married and you have a huge family, and that's a social network. But outside
Yes.
of that, have you been meeting friends? I mean, is it difficult? How's the social life?
Social life is good. Most of my friends are the same friends that my wife has. I have made a
Okay.
few friends on my own. Um, and the good thing about it, which makes it easier for me, is that they know English.
Okay.
So it makes it easier to meet people here. And I've had a lot of people reach out, especially because of the language thing. Man, if you need help learning, like I just had a couple just last week on TikTok, like how you reached me. Hey man, if you want to get together, we can meet at a coffee shop and we can practice Spanish and this and that. So that's one thing I've always said about this community, like Mexicanos, are very welcoming, hospitable, open arms. And so it hasn't been difficult to meet people. People want to talk to you, especially when they know that you're from the United States. They hear the English, they want to try to
Yeah,
speak
yeah,
to
yeah.
you and get to
Absolutely.
know you and stuff. And in terms of other US citizens, I've met a few here. And ironically, those relationships really didn't fruitate. Like I have better friends here that are Mexicanos than I actually do U.S. citizens. Now, mind you, there's not a big expat community here, and I certainly don't live in one. I live dead smack in the middle of Mexicanos, man. I tell people this. You may have heard me say this. I've said this. Mi colonia, the adjacent colonias, I got to be easily the only U.S. citizen here
That's
because,
awesome though, man.
yeah, and I love
Yeah,
it, dude. I love it.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yes. So and I'll never fit in terms of just being Mexicano. I'm gringo. That makes me unique, and there's been never been any animosity, rudeness, or any of that. When I speak to somebody, there's I'm just like everybody else. So I've always said that when I came here that was my goal was to just be like everyone else. I will be the U.S. citizen. You know, my house has been called Casa de Gringo, not knowing that my wife,
You're the only
who
one
is
in the hood,
Mexicano, lives
though,
here.
man.
Only one, and
There it
that's fine.
is.
And yeah, and my neighbors are wonderful, man. They've been good to me. You know, I speak to them, they speak to me, even though there's a language barrier, it doesn't matter. I think good vibes is a universal nonverbal language.
Yes.
You know when someone's coming from a good place. So they know I'm coming from a good place. I see they are. So it's made the experience wonderful. So yeah,
So what's a typical day look like for you, man? You said you quit work. What do you do now? What's your day look
dude,
like?
I'm a house husband. I'm a house husband. I say unofficially retired. Um, and I say unofficially because I'm not receiving any retirement pay, even though I was a government worker. That comes later. But as a veteran, I do get compensated. So, dude, I'm just enjoying it, man. Where I was coming from, my wife's a psychologist, by the way, at Tech.
Okay.
She saw how my job was just killing me physically, mentally. Now, just to put it into context, I used to be a surgical tech in the burn center in San Antonio, Texas. Very rough, tough job. The environment is just, especially going through both wars. Like I was at the end of my rope with that job. I was just done taxing, and my wife saw that. So when it came to that conversation of should we go to the US or Mexico, my wife, I already knew. She says I asked offers me to come here. I'm on it. So when she did that and I said yes, that was an opportunity that my wife really gave me to just relax. When you're ready to do something else, it's on you. So right now, typical day here, I just sit and relax. I obviously work on my content as well, and hopefully it's a hobby of mine that I like to do. So hopefully that fruit tastes into something. Housework, man. I get up with my wife. I help her get herself ready. Like I'll make her breakfast and lunch for her and send her out the door. And really, dude, a lot of my favorite pastime is sitting here just enjoying the quiet. I'll find stuff to do around the house, honey-do list, stuff like that. Or I'll get out of the house and I'll go and visit different restaurantes, cafes, or just go hiking on my own, go around the city. As you notice on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do on my I don't know if you've ever seen it on my TikTok lives. I like to go around, like even the adjacent cities like Arteaga, Ramos Arizpe, and just do live walks and just show people, if they're from here, memories of their cities that they're from, or show Norte de Mexico, a side of Mexico that nobody knows about. So that's really it. It's really just a life of just relaxing and chilling, man. That's pretty much how my day goes. And then when the weekend comes,
Dude,
I
can
get
I just say
excited about
what you just said's a flex, man? That's awesome. Good for you,
dude.
man. I like
It's
that.
nice.
Has
I
do
do
you,
it
so
on Fridays. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no. I was just gonna say, man, it's definitely looks like it's added years to your life, man. Like y'all, we
Oh,
already went over the food. Believe me, we already went over the food. I know Mexican food's legit, so I know it's
oh
healthy. I
yeah.
know you're getting fresh. I know it's, but I mean, living there, bro. It looks, it's, hearing your story, it sounds like it's added years to your life, man.
It really has, man, and I'm very fortunate to be at the age that I'm at and be able to enjoy it because in the US, just the way our system is set up, man, by the time you hit that retirement age, we like to think we're halfway there, but you're really not. Start hitting 50s and 60s. I think our life expectancy is around in the 70s. So by the time you start getting your social security, or maybe you are invested in some sort of retirement, dude, your life has gone by. And then I've met too many people, including my own family, that have these ideas that, man, I'm bored. I gotta go back to work. I gotta keep working. Like, no, man, if you could retire in your 40s and just and while you still got some youth in your body and go and enjoy yourself, dude, I encourage anyone that's capable or has the opportunity to do it. I understand circumstances, dictate otherwise for some people, but man, you're right. I feel incredibly fortunate. And my wife was joking with me about this yesterday because when everyone asks me, why are you in Mexico? I automatically say my wife. I say her country and this opportunity that I have right now is a bonus. And it's really her. She really did that for me, and that's why I love her to death. And I'm working toward trying to do that for her as well. And I encourage anyone who has the opportunity to retire at a young age, do it, man. Do it. Enjoy your life while you still have some youth in you.
Damn, man, that was some powerful shit. Thank you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so we're older guys now. Some of us can't figure out this computer shit. Becoming a TikToker,
Yeah, I
becoming a
know.
TikToker, man. You know how many people dream to live the life you're living right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, again, you got it made, but TikTok and this thing you're doing has it been hard becoming a TikToker? Because if somebody's at home watching, he's like, "How this dude get on this TikTok?" And I'm old and I want to figure it out. Live in Mexico too. How'd you pull it off?
Man, I've always been a tech guy, like head knee deep in tech. I've always been like, I've got all PlayStations, computers, laptops all behind me. I've always been into that. And I've had like these dreams and aspirations of like doing comedy. Like I love to joke and laugh and entertain and make people laugh. And one of the things that I had a hard time getting past was that fear of just doing it, like standing in front of people and doing it. And I just, I think it started for me after my last divorce because it was like an outlet for me to get things off my chest and dabble in things that I like to do in terms of I love barbecuing. Like I said, I love entertaining. I love talking about tech, controversial stuff. You've seen everything. I'm like all over the place in my TikTok for the most part. And I kind of built up the courage for me to do so, to do this. And what really set it off for me was meeting my wife and coming to Mexico. And I'm like, dude, people need to see this. People need to see this country for what it is. Like I always had in the back of my mind, like, man, people think such terrible things about this country and its people. I want to show them that this is not true. And anyone that's been following me, I had two accounts. I got my last one banned because I couldn't keep my mouth shut, but I'm trying to behave on this one. I had 36,000 followers on my last account and I lost it, and I'm trying to build it back up. But when I took on this endeavor, because this was a hobby and something that I like doing, uh, my wife, I told her, I said, I want to show your country. I want to show, U.S. citizens back in the United States that this place is not as bad as you think it is. It's a wonderful country. I want to show a different side of it. So that's what started it. I initially was recording videos of my old job and just showing the aspect of life of being a surgical tech. And then once I decided that this is gonna be my home, that's where it shifted. My wife was like, even in my ear, start filming the restaurants we go to, the places that we go, and put it on TikTok and show people. And dude, it's turned into what you're seeing now. So that's what started it, and that's what keeps me motivated to keep doing it because I'm only scratching the surface of Mexico. There's so much to see, and I plan to show more. So that's what started all of this.
Okay. Does it blow your mind how I don't want to use a fuck it. Does it blow your mind how ignorant some people are, man?
No. I initially I did think that way, and I had a conversation with one of my good friends, and he basically put it to me like this, man, you need to understand where you came from, what you thought, because trust me, I had a lot of ignorances about this country as well. And like I said earlier, traveling gets you starting that path of learning this stuff. So it's not mind blowing to think that people are ignorant in their statements. I've changed minds. I've had people get in my lives and say some ignorant stuff. Some people just outright hateful. I try
Yeah.
not to entertain that stuff. But some people will generally ask, "Oh, do you have Wi-Fi there? Do you have Netflix?" And as much as you were like, "Really, man?" You got to understand where they're coming from and how this country is portrayed in media. So I take a step back and remember, okay, I was there once too. So yes, we have Wi-Fi. Yes, we have Netflix. Yes, we have cable, running water, all this stuff that you think that we don't. So no, I come from a place of understanding and a place of being there once. So that changed my aspect on that and how to handle it.
That's a really good look, man. I'll tell you. Uh, some people, like you said, some people just haven't already an opinion of what's going on, and because they don't know any better, and they're just coming from that place. That I have
Right.
patience for. You know what I mean? I understand, like you're saying, but when you're coming at me with just some mean or like hateful or just dumb thing, dude, you could have Googled that, you know what I'm saying? Instead of being mean, I don't know.
Yeah. No, no,
Never,
I feel you in there, man. Sometimes you look at some of the comments, you're like, and I've done, and dude, I'm this. My problem is I'm very sarcastic. So I did a video, and I'm glad you said this because I need to go find it, dig it up because it was on my previous account. Somebody said something about, actually, I did post this video. Somebody said that everyone in Mexico lives in mud huts. So I did a video,
that comes from a place of mean, bro. That's just some mean shit to
right?
say, bro. That's
Just
not,
total ignorance. You don't even ask the
yeah,
question. You just make this generalization.
yeah.
Right. So my response to that is okay, sarcasm. And I did a video. I actually posted it. If I remember, I'll try to send it to you so you can get a laugh
Yeah,
at it.
yeah,
And I showed all the mud huts, dude. The guy down the street, this guy's house. If I don't, there's a place in San Antonio called the Dominion, where all the doctors and athletes
okay,
and,
I'm with
and
you.
people with
I'm with you.
yeah, I like this dude's house could be sitting in there. That's how nice. And there's another house down the street, dude. I thought, does the mayor live here? Like it has what looks like the dome of a Capitol building on the top.
Okay.
Bro, yeah, and he's got cameras around this stuff. Dude, there's some nice houses in my area. And I'm like, everyone lives in mud huts? Okay, let me show you the mud huts that
Let me show you
surround
the
me.
mud huts.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I did another video too, joking about like someone said something about Mexico being a third world country. So I started jokingly saying like my computer is ran by rats running inside a carousel. I think they had called my house a mud hut too. So I said that all the mud that we made this house with comes right from this ground right here. Yeah.
That's a
Some
good
you know
way.
how
You
to
know
deal
what
with
though?
certain people.
That's a really good way to go about it. Make it funny,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, and that's what, and that's why I do it because not only is it funny and it's hopefully making them feel like an idiot from suggesting such a thing or saying it, but other people that love this country, that love the entertainment and laughing and all this stuff, they find humor in it. So that drives me to keep doing it more too. Oh, they think this is funny? Okay, let me keep doing this and make people laugh
Yeah,
more. So
I get it. I do agree with you 1,000%, though, man. The way of the world is to travel, bro. That's it. You got to get out there and you got to see, and don't do it like from a boat. You know what I mean? Like go
no.
into the hood, talk to people, get to eat the food. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Yes,
it
man.
helps.
I always encourage people when they go to like the resorts and stuff because the resorts don't want you to leave. And it kind of bothers me that they go this route, but some of them will even use the security as a reason for you to stay and do some of the best experiences are off the resort.
Yeah,
I can't
absolutely.
remember this huge resort that's in Puerto Vallarta that we stayed at because my friend owns a timeshare there. And my best time, because I'm a big Predator fan, was when we went to where they filmed the movie. That's not near the resort.
Slow
You got
down.
to go
I'm
in
a
the,
Predator fan. And which
bro,
one or two?
the very first
The
one.
what? You were
The
there?
very yes, yes. I wish I could show you pictures right now on here where I would. Yes,
Later,
because
we'll
the
get to
first time,
that. But that's
yeah, yeah.
awesome, dude. That's
Dude, the
awesome.
first time we went, I was mad that we didn't get to go. But the second time we went, we went with my parents, and my dad is a big Predator fan. So no, I was like, nah, I'm with dad. We're going. And it was actually filmed in two different places. The big waterfall was somewhere not even close to here, to Puerto Vallarta. But the shootout scene where they attack the gorillas and all that, that was where we went. And it's not near the resort. Dude, it's like an hour and a half drive away. You have to in the jungle. Bro, me and my
That's
wife,
awesome.
oh, it's awesome, dude. We did a walk just from where the scene or they shot most of it to, we ate there and everything. And me and my wife did a little walk. They said it was to a waterfall. Dude, we started getting worried because the jungle was getting a little too thick for our taste. And we're like, dude, you could easily get stuck here, lose your sense of direction, and you're
And it's
screwed.
a
Let's
wrap,
go back.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And a little side note here. I know you noticed probably from them filming how much trouble they had filming that movie in that jungle. And when you're there, you're like, I see why. It's a wild experience.
Wow,
Yes.
man.
But you have to leave the resort for that. So that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
man. You do what you want. You want to stay in the resort, the beach that's right by the resort, enjoy your all inclusive, cool. But me, nah, man, I want to see what else is
Yeah.
not costing me a lot of money. I want to go where the locals are at. I want to eat their
Yeah.
food and
Yeah. Feel it. Feel the culture. That's what you went for. Feel what it's about.
exactly.
I went to Mexico with my wife. We were staying in one of those super fancy all-inclusives and we broke out for a day. And instead of going on like the tourist bus where you're like cattle and they kind of move you around, like I do this, man. I've been living in Nicaragua for 10 years. I had a tourism business, called up a cab. Dude came and got us. We had our own personal escort for the day. We drove all over the place. I went to the pyramid. And I
Yeah.
bought, and I have a statue, man, of the Predator
Oh,
sitting on top of the calendar. You know,
yeah.
the Aztec calendar. Am I saying no, the
Yeah,
Mayan
yeah,
calendar,
yeah.
right? And he's standing on that thing looking all badass. It's one of my most prized possessions. That's
Man, there
awesome.
was one. I was in Mexico City, same thing. They're not the same exact thing, but they had this big old predator. The only problem is the reason I didn't buy it is that I haven't moved here yet. So I flew to visit my wife and meet her in Mexico City to meet the family. This is when I actually proposed to her too. Went to the big, I
Ooh.
forget the name of the damn pyramids there. But they had this big old predator that looked badass, but I couldn't take it back. So I
Yeah,
was like,
breaks.
man, right. Or
Uh,
trying to package it or whatever. Like I was like, I
uh,
couldn't bring it back. And I'm not even kidding you. I'm gonna lift you up for a second.
Go ahead. Let me see what
This
we
is my
got here.
little alien predator setup that I got. I mean,
Oh, dude,
I'm
that's
dead.
awesome. Legit.
Yeah. This one I got in Monterrey, that big. Predator head. So yeah,
Okay.
that
Legit. Awesome.
no joke, man. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan.
Being an
So
expat, man, do you consume a lot? I mean, you're probably a media guy anyway, but being an expat, do you consume a lot of media? Sometimes you sit down, you get into your game time, movies,
uh
books.
yeah, I get into both, man. I've actually that's another thing because I've always been a gamer since Atari 2600. I'm 48 years old, man. Gaming since the first system was ever made. And it's funny when I do get on here because I do stream some of my gaming and people are like, "Oh, you game too?" So they're like all excited, man. You're cool as hell. So yeah, when I have time, I make a point to get on here and game. Um, like I said, I haven't watched movies as much as I used to, but a lot of times me and my wife, whenever we're together, finally she's off work or whatever, uh, usually every evening, that's what we do. We'll sit there and just watch different shows and series. I'm still a big movie buff, so I do
Yeah.
love going to the movies here. And the experience here is nice. Again, another thing that a lot of people don't think about is like the movie theaters are nice here, man, especially the MVPs, and they bring everything out to you, the alcohol, everything, and I'll grab like a bucket of beer and I'll be sitting there just getting trash and favorite pastime. One of easily my
Yo,
favorite
it's
pastime.
it's the same thing here, man. They would never Nicaragua, we're even worse than Mexico, the people that think about this place, man. Yeah, we got a VIP section. They take care of you, they bring you food, the beer if you
Yeah,
want to, whatever. You can sit, you can watch it. It's gorgeous. My wife and I, we live an hour and a half outside of like anything. Like I'm on a beach in the middle of nowhere, man. So every now and then
nice.
every now and then we get that weird want to do the gringo thing. So we'll go into the city, we'll do the VIP movie, we'll go to Fridays, you know what I mean? We'll get a bite to eat, but that's, you
You're
know,
like, yeah, we're like the opposite because we're in the city. I'm not saying opposite in terms of like we're in the city, and then sometimes I'll be like, man, I want to get out of the city. I want to go to like a pueblo close by, or there's some pueblo Mexico is what they call it here, is where there's something significant about this certain pueblos that make it a pueblo Mexico, like Arteaga, for example, or I think it's called Paras, which is not a couple hours from here. They're famous for their wines. So there's like these different places, and we're like the opposite. We're in the city, and then we're like, man, let's go hiking. Let's go into
yeah,
the
okay, I
mountains.
see
Let's
what you
go.
said. Yeah.
You know
No,
what I
I
mean?
gotta go to
Like,
cities. I go to cities, man. Yeah.
yeah,
Backwards. I feel you. When we went to Mexico, this trip, I was just telling you, I like this was like 3 years ago we went, and we're on the beach, and my mom and my sister and everybody's like staring at the water and they're blown away in the beach. And I'm like looking the opposite direction. I live dead ass on the water. I don't have grass, I have sand and water. So yeah, I'm looking at like buildings and shit. I'm like, I'm done with it. So yeah, it's funny.
see, that's funny because that's if I had a choice, what you're doing is what I would. Actually, my wife is the same way. Uh,
Well, give it time, man. Give that time. You can
yeah,
have it.
we're
Sounds like
we're
you're gonna
hoping
manifest
that.
it.
Yeah, oh, you chose yeah, because what our plan is to buy a property near a beach and retire. That's
Yeah.
what you're doing now is what we hope to do later.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
wife, my kids are our kids are old enough almost to the point where they're out on their own. We got a couple that are students. So when that eventually we're gonna be in your shoes, man. We're
All
gonna be
right,
on the beach.
man.
I'll probably be in Mexico, but we'll be on a beach somewhere away from everyone else just to get away because I'm a big beach goer. When I was in San Antonio, I lived a couple hours from Corpus Christi, which obviously these beaches are nothing like where you're at or in Mexico for that matter. But nonetheless, the beach. I love going to the river, going to the beach. I have this big old off-road truck that I put together for that reason to be able to access these places. And that is definitely one thing that I miss about being in San Antonio, close proximity to the rivers and beaches. I would always go to the beach and camp and stay overnight. A lot of times, just me and my dog,
Uh-huh.
music, barbecue, and set up the tent. So those kind of things. I'm a big beach goer. I love being near the water.
What do you
So
miss the
those are
most? What do you miss
that's
the most
probably one of
about?
the biggest things.
Is that what it is? What do you miss the most about Texas? That?
Yeah, being in San Antonio, San Antonio is a beautiful city. I miss San Antonio for the simple fact that it's a big city, a lot of culture. Uh, the Mexican culture obviously is very big there. Latino community is a high number. So, but everything around it, there's so many things to do. If you like sports, obviously the Spurs are there, and that gave me a chance to see my Mavericks play there. You're not far from Dallas, so you get to go. You know, if you're a Cowboys fan or any fan for that matter, you want to see NFL football. You're not that far. College football, but you're right there in the middle of a bunch of rivers. So if you like to go tubing or just hanging out by the river, camping, whatever, all that's all over the place. There's a lot of small towns with great history and things to see and food and whatnot. And like I said, the beach, Corpus Christi is not that far if you just want to go and hang out at the beach. So you're right. That's probably the single biggest thing I miss is being within a close proximity of a lot. San
Okay.
Antonio is a very good place to live that I think accommodates for anybody. If you don't want to live in a big city, there's smaller cities outside of San Antonio that you can live in. Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing I miss about living there.
All right. What would you say has been the hardest thing about being in Mexico for you? Aside from the language. I know we went over that, but aside from the language,
Yeah,
what do you think has been the hardest thing for you?
aside from the language, I think my family and friends.
Okay.
It's not as easy access as it was once before because like I said, if I want to go, it's not that far. It is further though, and going through the border and all this stuff, sometimes that could be a hassle. So it's not that convenient as it used to be. But I would think next to the language, it's just my good friends and family across the border, not being able to see them as much as I used to.
All right. All right. So, all right. There's a young guy, he comes up to you and he says, Julian, I'm thinking about moving to Mexico, man, in the middle of nowhere. What do you think, man? What's your advice?
My advice to you is if you're going to come to this country, but by first and foremost, come with an open mind. Um, don't come here trying to change the country, change with the country. Adapt, be a part of the community, don't be a problem, learn the language, and just don't come here and congregate amongst the same people you left. Get out there and bump shoulders with the locals, learn the culture, learn the language, engulf yourself in everything. Because I really think if you do that, you're going to really enjoy being here. And if that's not for you, then you probably shouldn't come here. But my first advice, foremost, would be come here with an open mind, open heart, be full of, be respectful, embrace the country, its culture, don't try to change it. Be a part of it. That would probably be my single biggest advice before you come. If you're willing to do that, I think you'll enjoy your time here.
That's awesome. That's a good one. Do you got a holy shit moment? Like do you ever, for me, every day, doesn't matter, been here 10 years, I look out over my balcony right here. I got the sunset right there. Doesn't matter. I'll be walking from my house to the kitchen. I'll just be moving on the ranch. I see that sunset and I stop and I go, holy shit, this is my life. You know what I mean? Do you ever have that moment?
Often, man.
Awesome.
I would say the holy shit moment for me that always makes me take a step back is just me, just like your sunset. It's just me observing what's going on around me. There are times where I'll be at a carne asada and we're just having a good time, and I'll just take a step back. You know how like in the Empire, what was it? The Return of the Jedi when the Death Star blew up and the Admiral guy with the big eyes, everyone's cheering. He's just sitting back like, no, that's me at times at carne asadas because when I will take a look at everybody around me
Dude, I'm not
and
gonna
I
be able to watch that
just
movie anymore the same, man.
that is the prime example of me at times because I will take a step back and just witness everything that's going on around me and see mis amigos, mi familia, mis amigos, Mexicanos just enjoying life at its simplest form, enjoying good music, good food, and good people. And people aren't just family. It ain't family with family. It ain't friends with friends. Friends are considered family here. And like my wife is called Tia by her best friend's kids. And that really resonates with me because I don't get that vibe in the United States. Like I got good friends, but here, man, my oh shit moment is just like, wow, man, these people love one another. They love each other's company. They have a good time in the simplest of ways and they celebrate life. It could be something as simple as, hey, Julian's got his license, celebration. He got a permanent residency, party. Or it could be a 50th anniversary. It could be a birthday. So a lot of times, man, I find myself sitting back and just like, and by last moment, I will tell you this, the last time I felt this was last week at my wife's coworker's birthday. At one of they own the restaurant slash bar, and they had the mariachis in there, dude. the music is so powerful. It just everything just kind of was overwhelming. Listening, watching everyone singing, enjoying each other's company. That's my oh shit moment here often. Just seeing that and just be like, wow, man, these people really are good people. That's why I come to the defense of Mexicanos a lot, because the misconception in the United States is that these are terrible people, man. No, man, if you get to know these people, you'll know they're good at heart. They're good people.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. You've been there for a couple years now, man. Do you still feel like a tourist or do you feel like a local?
Nah, man, it's funny you said that because I just had someone get on here talking shit to me, telling me, you're a guest in this country. Nah, this is home.
This is
This is
home.
home. I feel like this is my home. I'm not a guest. I have no intentions of going back. So, no, I don't. I definitely feel more at home than I do as a tourist or a guest or someone visiting.
Awesome. Awesome.
I find myself at times when I go back to visit, I think I've told you this already. When I would go back to the US, I'm like, man, I'm ready to go back. Like,
Yeah.
I'm ready to go home.
Yeah, yeah. We were talking about this yesterday.
Yeah,
I'm the same way, man, because it's all about the food. That's it. I go, I eat that bullshit for a couple days. You get over it real fast. You're like, all right, I'm good. I want to go home now.
yeah.
All right, I'm ready to
Well, we
go.
went to we went to Piedras Negras, which is a town just bordering United States, and I jokingly said this. You know that scene in Lion King where Simba and his father were looking at in the distance. They said we don't go there because
Okay,
it's a.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I jokingly said the other day because it's weird. I remember being on Eagle Pass, which is on the other side of Piedras Negras. I remember when I was very curious about Mexico, wanting to come here and visit, seeing that big Mexican flag from the other side of the river and be like, man, I want to go visit. Now I'm on the other side of it and I'm looking at the United States like, man, I don't want to go over there. I literally went, me and my wife went to Eagle Pass to ship a box to my parents, some stuff they wanted from here. And I literally grabbed me some Whataburger and we went back. We didn't waste no time. That's how it is right now with me. Just standing over there like, man, don't go
I'm
over
good.
there.
Yeah, I'm all right.
I'm
I'm
good.
good. That's
It's
awesome.
hilarious, man. Yeah.
All right. You've been there, let's just say you've been
About
there
two
three
and a half.
years? Let's say three
Almost
years.
3 years. Yeah, yeah.
Let's go back 3 years. You talking to you then, what do you tell you?
Oh man, learn the language. I know we
Back to
keep
the
going there. We
left.
keep going there. This is
No,
about the
you're right though.
the
You
same
are
time.
right though. It is a big thing. It is.
Learn. Well, here's a. I want to put this side note just to make it worse for myself because I'm all about self-deprecation. My father's a Peruvian immigrant. Half my family is from Peru. My whole name is in Spanish.
Yeah.
Lived in San Antonio 23 years. Yeah, learn the language. So learn the damn language. That is probably the biggest thing. But man, I don't know what advice I would give myself 3 years from now. I would just be like, learn to relax. Coming at from a veteran standpoint, got to be here at this time, always punctual, be here early, all this stuff. I would probably give relax. Understand you're going to another country that does not take itself serious at times. What I mean by that, it's not a bad thing. What I'm saying is, my wife was always, hey, we're going to be at this party at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. We're showing up at 8.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're going to be there. We're going to
Bro,
be there.
that's Latin America though.
Yes.
That's all of us.
Yes. Bro, man, when you go to the immigration and you're saying your appointment's at 8, dude, you're there. For me, this is serious. Be there at 7:50, 8 o'clock. The immigration officer is walking in. 8:15, they're pulling out their breakfast. They're having a conversation with themselves. 8:30, come on up. I was like, just son of a no.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I would say don't take it serious. Come in here, let it go, relax, and just take it all in. That would probably be my best advice to myself 3 years ago.
Man, that's awesome. That's a good one. But after that. So, Julian, man, thank you so much, bro. That was an incredible conversation, man. I really appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much.
Man, thanks for having me. This has been a wonderful experience. This has been awesome considering this is my first podcast. And hey, anytime you want to have me back, I'll gladly come back, man. Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you so much.
Wow, Julian, man, that was incredible. Thank you so much. I'm feeling the positivity and I'm feeling all the good insight you've given us. Right, so for my guests at home, or if there's any questions you want me to ask my future guests, just put it in the comment section and I'll get to it. And give me a like and subscribe. I hope to see you in 2 weeks.